All right, so I was just in physical therapy and I was thinking about a question that a ton of you have asked me over the last few weeks, especially as Solana has done well. This question has been quite simply, Tyler, do you think that Solana can reach its all-time high or pass its all-time high in the current market in which we're in right now in this bull market? Because again, many of you do know that I believe we're now in the bull market. Now, I've not really had a great answer for that question recently up until today. So the main concern that I had was obviously what was happening with the FTX situation with Solana. You know, we've seen Solana resolve so many problems, whether it's just on-chain, right? All the problems that it had on-chain from a fundamental perspective. The fact that it would go down so much, the fact that it was unreliable. Sure, it was fast, but who cares if you're fast if you're unreliable? That's like having a fast sports car that might lose a wheel here and there. No one really wants that, right? And so because it has overcome things like that to an extent in which the chain itself is rather reliable at this given point. They've corrected so many issues. They've made it through the bear market in which no one really knew how Solana would fare during a bear market. You see, we've gotten past many things like that. But the FTX situation was, as I mentioned before, very different. It was so external. It was something that was so out of their control. It wasn't a situation that they could just fix. And because of this, I wasn't sure, what does the long-term landscape of this look like? Well, I saw a tweet today that said that FTX has now finished selling off all of their unlocked Solana, in which the majority of it will not be able to be sold again until 2027 and 2028. Now, this was over $230 million worth of Solana in which they've sold off just in the last few weeks. And, well, nothing's really happened. And, you know, as I started to sit back and think about this, like, wow, FTX has sold off over $200 million worth of Solana. In a time like this where things are still a little uncertain. Sure, markets are rallying. Sure, the stock market is doing pretty decent. But from a fundamental perspective, that macroeconomic landscape is not very good, right? People are losing jobs. People don't have that much money. People don't have stimulus money anymore. People have loans that they can't pay off. They have all of these things that are kind of causing hardship on the everyday citizen, not only just of the US, but of the world. And Solana didn't really do much because of it, right? People were excited. People were doing well. People said, fuck it. You know what? I'm going to buy some Solana no matter what. If FTX is going to dump it, I'll buy it, right? And throughout the times in which they have been doing all these sales, retail has been back and buying and, you know, just absorbing all of this liquidity that FTX is dumping on the market to a position and a point in which I say, well, what would be the reason why Solana couldn't? What would be the reason it couldn't? What's the reason why it can't double what its previous all-time high was? I mean, think about it. The main three concerns that we had going into the bear market for Solana were this. The FTX situation, that was like the peak of the bear market, right? Prior to that was the reliability, as we mentioned before. Prior to that was the fact that Solana as a whole had not really much experience. They're very fast movers. And so being that they're fast movers, we weren't really sure if their foundation or the fundamentals that they had established were strong enough to withstand a really bad bear market. Those were the three main issues. We know that they can get through a bear market and thrive in a bear market. We know that fundamentally, from an on-chain perspective, as I mentioned before, they're much more reliable. And the FTX situation hasn't really caused much of an impact. And even when FTX sold off over $200 million worth of Solana, retail investors who are not doing well right now, in a world where the economic landscape is not looking good right now, the socioeconomic landscape is not looking good right now, are still buying this thing up to a point in which its price has climbed hundreds and hundreds, or its market cap, has climbed hundreds of millions of dollars, sending it upwards of $50 to $60. I can't see a reason as to why a Solana that's so much better now than it was back in 2021 can't clear its all-time high. Matter of fact, I'd be willing to say that all of those crazy-ass Solana to $1,000 comments maybe aren't all that out of the realm of possibilities anymore. Because yes, do I think that retail investors are going to be as crazy as they were in 2021 anytime soon? No, not really. No one's just being given $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 by the government to spend it on whatever they want anymore. So obviously the liquidity probably will not get as high as it was in 2021, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean that when prices start to come back down, people are spending less on groceries, at the gas pump, in restaurants, on healthcare. When they're not spending so much money on those things, they're going to have extra money. And one thing I know about humans is they're going to spend it. If they have it, they're going to spend it. And I think when the time comes that we finally start to see prices really cooling down and maybe even being met by wage growth, I think that there will be a point in time in which people have that extra liquidity. And when you combine that with the fact that institutional investors are now entering the world of crypto more than ever before, I don't see a reason as to why Solana can't hit $1,000. Why can't it hit $500, $700? I just don't know why. So now that this FTX situation has been rather cleared up in my mind, it's something I'm not all that concerned about. I'm quite confident that Solana is going to reach its all-time high one day, and I think it's going to surpass it. My price prediction for this bull market could be upwards of $500, and if things get absolutely ridiculous, I think 1,000 is well within the realm of possibilities. Could that take 2 years? Yeah, it could. Could it take 3 years? Yeah, it could. But realistically, I think that it's worth the wait, and I think being that that could be an upwards of a 10 to 20x from where we are right now, I don't think anybody's complaining. And so with that said, I wanted to give my updated long-term opinion on what Solana is doing right now. I would love to hear yours down in the comment section below. So make sure that you do leave it down there. Let me know if you like these little quick car videos when I'm on the road and I'm doing things like that. If you do, of course, just drop a like on this video or let me know in the comments below. And again, I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much, everybody. Talk to you next time. Bye.